tarot reading for 2020. We're going to be using the Modern Witch Tarot by Lisa Sterle and the Wheel of the Year for clarifying. We'll get stuck in. If the messages resonate, do let me know. If they do not, don't freak out. Go and check your rising and moon signs. This is for Sun. Excuse me. This is for Sun signs Taurus. My phone. Every time I start these, my phone just starts going nuts. All right. 7 of Wands. What do we got? Bit of conflict. Let's see what cards come out for you guys and we'll get stuck into your read. I'm trying to do nice, short, quick ones for you guys so you're not... Yep, we're going to take them. Okay, I've got quite a few. Wow, Taurus, holy snap and turtle. All right. Taurus. Bit of conflict at the start of the month. Bit of, not necessarily conflict, just stuff that you guys have to deal with. There's a lot of have-to-dos at the start of January, getting stuff finalized. You may feel like you're going to battle in a lot of sense, but I feel like if you sort of breathe and take it all in, you'll realize that you're not at battle. It's just tying up loose ends and doing what has to be done in order to start bringing in the more calmer energy of this Queen of Cups here. This is again, like I said, the have to do's. This is getting balanced. This is clearing out the last of the cobwebs of 2019 and making way for a really abundant year for a lot of you guys. A lot of you, yeah, this is like a real... I'm seeing so much balance for you in January. Excuse me. I'm also seeing the further integration of spiritual practices. A lot of you are turning spiritual practice into more lucrative situations, trying to branch out with new ideas, new ways of doing. It's almost like out with the old, in with the new. It's almost like how you used to focus on your finances with the Star card here and incorporating that with your spiritual practice kind of shifts around the second half of January and moves into a more balanced atmosphere. I feel like you're kind of running yourself ragged a little bit with ways to make this work. I just see a lot of new approaches. I almost see that you are, I'm hearing shortening, so maybe shortening your obligations or shortening, maybe you were spending too much time on different practices or different information, or what is this? Spending too much time on... Yeah, spending too much time on your practices, your spiritual practices specifically. For some of you, this is relying a little bit too heavily on the advice and opinions of others in terms of what directions to take for yourself, and you're really not doing that. Whatever this is that happens around the second half of January for you guys, it really just kind of puts things in a clearer perspective, whether or not this is something that you've started to implement now and things just kind of click around that time. And it's like for all the areas that you had a little bit of uncertainty with, again, this is spiritual practice, so however that resonates for you, whatever it is that you do in your own spiritual practices, things just get a little bit more back on track. I feel like for some of you guys, there is a lot of maybe people coming to you for different advice. This could be in the form of tarot readings. This could be in the form of just general opinion. I feel like you have a real way of letting people know where they should be, what they should be, or just kind of nudging people in a good direction, whether you're aware of this or not. If you are aware of it, you'll know this because people will often come to you for advice. Okay, and we've got the Judgment card here, but I'm feeling like this is some of you are being called to really focus on this. Give your opinions. Here we go. What was you? Okay, we've got a few more flippity flips. Yeah, really being called to give your advice, and I see you really establishing yourself in this area. It's almost like creative project. It's almost like you have a way of turning how you give your opinions into a more lucrative job, I want to say. Maybe this is something that you kind of do as a side hustle to bring in money, and it becomes a little bit more stable. And I see you sort of taking back. What is that? Taking back. Taking back. Taking back. Taking back in a sense that this kind of comes from, I feel like the Seven of Wands is the last kind of like the last sort of hurdle, I want to say, is kind of a generic term of this situation where there was something really has come to an end. And that could be the thrust, the motivator for what's got you looking at the bigger picture and other aspects of your life. How do I approach work? How do I approach friends? How do I approach myself? This is a lot of going within, focusing on yourself, but this is focusing on yourself not just in a spiritual sense, but in a kind of like, how can I make things better in my life? What can I do to benefit from this kind of enforced change that's happened for me at the start of the year? That may be a lot of the focus for a lot of you guys in January. I do want to say that there is a need to not let the stress of this Seven of Wands situation to get you losing track. Look back at what's happened with positivity. Look back at what's happened as in, okay, look where I am now. Yes, this has happened, but look where I am now. And I feel like this spiritual transition happens sort of at the front and back of this. So it's in many ways allowed you to level up. You've awakened. Okay. Yeah. So don't look at the situation as a defeat. I definitely don't see it that way. I don't see like I see you walking away because you've had to walk away, but I feel that you're going to move into a much more successful position in the long run. And this is again, I don't know what I'm saying again. This is a lot to do with your creative pursuits, putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, doing what you want to do because you want to do it and not because you feel any sort of obligation to do it. You're also moving forward in a direction that has no judgment on yourself. You're not judging yourself, and you couldn't care less about the judgments of others with this. It's almost like you've blacked it out. You know, people are going to judge you no matter what is how you're looking at this, so I'm just going to do what I want. Let me see here. There's still a way to go. Please don't feel that just because you've made this decision and you are implementing the change and you are starting to grow. I do see you seeing results, but you're at the beginning. Okay, whatever this situation is here that's come to an end, know that you're at the beginning of this journey. So don't give up, don't lose hope, don't feel as though you've taken steps back. I definitely don't see that. We've got great stuff here. Great stuff here that all kind of is setting you on track for the rest of the year to have a really great year, a really abundant year. You're at the start of the journey at the end of the month, but it's like it's all up from there. There's still going to be bumps along the way that you have to deal with, but for the most part, I feel like the hardest bump, the biggest hurdle, the biggest kerfuffle, you've dealt with that already. That's already done. Like the worst is over coming into January. definitely at the end of January, but it's almost like January for a lot of you guys is such a transformational month. There is so much growth, and it all stems from this big kind of hoo-ha moment, this big release, this big realization and let go. And then you are just kind of slogging along, pushing through the entire month. What have we got there? Yeah. And then you've got the Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. I've just noticed there. So that is, let me have a look here. Definitely moving out from a place of lack into a place of having much more. You're in much more of a position moving forward from January to give and to share and to want to do that. You're in that mindset. Don't focus on looking back at situations. If there's a bump, embrace it, move forward with it, and maintain this sort of energy here. Maintain this positive outlook. Know that balance is being restored. The letdowns, this hump situation, whatever that is, know that it's being put to rest. And from here, you're wounded, you're buggered, like you've been through it, but you're moving forward in a much more strong and positive direction after January. Good stuff. All right, I'm going to leave it there for you guys. Have a great month. I can see that you will. Beautiful cards. And thank you for watching.